You're driving, minding your own business, and you check your rearview mirror out of habit, and there it is. The word ambulance, sitting on the hood of the vehicle behind you, spelled out in letters that look like they've been typed by someone who forgot how to type, backwards. Mirrored. Wrong. Except it isn't wrong. Look at it directly, without a mirror, and the letters really are flipped, stretched oddly, spaced in a way that looks almost broken. Most people assume it's a printing mistake the first time they notice it, or some strange leftover branding decision nobody bothered to fix. It looks like a typo that somehow made it onto thousands of emergency vehicles worldwide. But that backwards word is one of the most quietly calculated pieces of text you will ever read. It was never meant to be read the way you're reading it right now. Think about where you actually encounter that word. Almost never head-on, walking toward an ambulance on the sidewalk. You encounter it through glass, at a distance, usually while you're behind the wheel of your own car, glancing at a mirror for a fraction of a second, while also watching the road, your speed, the car in front of you, and whatever your kid in the back seat is asking for the third time. That mirror glance is the entire design brief. Everything about that flipped word exists to survive being seen in under a second by someone who isn't even trying to read it. Here's the assumption most people make without ever saying it out loud. Text is text. If a word is written correctly, a person will eventually read it correctly, mirror or no mirror. Flip it, and it just looks like someone's error. Under that assumption, the backwards ambulance text seems pointless at best and confusing at worst. Why would anyone deliberately make a life or death word harder to read? The answer starts with a detail most drivers have never consciously noticed. A mirror doesn't rotate an image, it flips it left to right. So if you write ambulance normally on the front of a vehicle, and a driver ahead sees it in their rearview mirror, what reaches their brain is a jumble. The letters are still there, still in order, but reversed, and a reversed word doesn't read as a word, it reads as noise. Your brain has to stop, mentally flip each letter, reassemble the sequence, and only then recognize what it says. That process takes real time. Time a driver in traffic, at speed, glancing at a mirror for half a second, usually doesn't have. So the people who designed emergency vehicle markings did something that sounds almost too simple to be clever. They pre-flipped the word before it ever left the factory. Ambulance gets printed backwards on the hood, so that when it bounces off the mirrored surface of your rearview mirror and back into your eyes, the flip cancels itself out. What you see in that reflection is a normal, correctly oriented word, sitting there as clearly as if someone had written it directly onto the glass in front of you. That's the trick. Two wrongs in this specific case actually do make a right. The ambulance isn't broken. Your mirror is doing exactly what mirrors do, and the vehicle behind you has simply already accounted for it. Once you understand that, the shape of the letters themselves stops looking like a mistake and starts looking like an intentional workaround for a problem nobody chose to have. Every driver, every day, is relying on a piece of curved or flat glass to relay information about the world behind them, and that glass distorts direction the moment it reflects anything. The ambulance text isn't fighting that distortion, it's using it. This is the part where the design gets more interesting than a simple mirror flip, because a flipped word alone isn't enough to guarantee fast recognition. The letters on most ambulances aren't just reversed, they're also often bold, wide, evenly spaced, and sometimes slightly stretched compared to a normal font. That's not decoration. At a distance, in a small mirror, in bad light, thin or tightly packed letters blur into each other. Wide, blocky letters hold their shape even when the image shrinks down to the size of a postage stamp reflected in glass. The goal isn't just correct orientation. It's a word that survives being small, blurry, and glanced at for less than a second, and still resolves into something recognizable almost instantly, the same way you can recognize a stop sign shape before you consciously read the word stop on it. That's the real mechanism underneath the backwards lettering. It isn't only about mirror physics, it's about designing for recognition speed, not reading speed. There's a meaningful difference between the two. Reading is what you do with a paragraph, working through it word by word. Recognition is what you do with a shape, all at once, the way you recognize a friend's face across a parking lot before you consciously process any individual feature. The ambulance text is built to be recognized, not read. By the time your brain has consciously registered that says ambulance, a driver operating on instinct has often already started reacting, checking their mirrors, easing off the gas, looking for a gap to pull toward the shoulder. And that's where the practical stakes actually sit. This isn't really about literacy or clarity in some abstract sense. It's about the handful of seconds between something is behind me and I need to move. An ambulance approaching from behind in traffic is, from the driver's perspective, one moving shape among many. Headlights, grille shape, general vehicle silhouette can all look similar enough at a glance, especially at night, in rain, or in heavy traffic, where multiple vehicles are jockeying for space. The reversed word cuts through that ambiguity the moment it hits a rearview mirror the right way around. It's a shortcut, deliberately engineered so that recognition doesn't depend on shape alone, or color alone, or the siren alone, especially in situations where sirens might not be running yet, or where the ambulance is still approaching without lights on because it isn't yet in an active emergency response. Try the alternative for a second. Imagine an ambulance with the word printed normally on the hood, the way you'd print it on a t-shirt or a sign. Direct viewing would be fine. Someone standing on the sidewalk reads it instantly. But every driver checking their mirror sees a jumbled reversed mess instead, something their brain has to actively decode before it means anything. In the exact moment where speed of recognition matters most, the design would be actively working against the person it's supposed to help. The vehicle would still say, ambulance. It just wouldn't say it fast enough, to the audience that actually needs to see it that way. That's the trade-off hiding underneath this whole thing, and it's worth sitting with for a second, because it's the kind of trade-off that shows up in a lot of design decisions once you start looking for it. The mirrored text is genuinely harder to read directly. Someone walking past an ambulance parked at the curb, reading it head-on, has to do a small mental double-take because it does look odd from that angle. The design accepts that cost. It sacrifices a bit of clarity for the pedestrian, the bystander, the person reading it face-on, in exchange for near-instant clarity for the one audience whose reaction time actually matters in a moving traffic scenario, the driver watching a mirror. It's not a design that tries to work equally well for everyone in every situation. It's a design that decides deliberately which viewing angle matters most and optimizes hard for that one. There's a version of this you can test in your own head without needing any equipment. Picture the word ambulance printed normally, left to right, the way it would appear on a poster. Now imagine holding that poster up to a mirror. What bounces back isn't gibberish exactly, but it takes a beat to parse, because your brain is used to reading letters in one fixed orientation and now has to work against that habit. Now imagine the opposite. The poster is already mirrored before you hold it up. In the reflection, it snaps into a normal, easily readable word instantly. No mental gymnastics required. That's the entire trick condensed into one small experiment, and it's also, effectively, the test that whoever first standardized this lettering had to run, just with an actual vehicle and an actual mirror, instead of a poster. It's worth asking why this particular fix caught on as broadly as it did, instead of some other solution to the same problem. There were other options available. Emergency vehicles could rely purely on flashing lights and sirens, which many already do, and which work well when they're active. But lights and sirens depend on being turned on, being seen through whatever angle the vehicle happens to be approaching from, and being heard through closed windows, running air conditioning, or music loud enough to mask outside sound. A printed word costs nothing to activate. It doesn't need a switch. It's legible anytime daylight or headlights hit it, whether or not the ambulance is actively responding to an emergency or simply driving back to base. That combination, zero power requirement and near permanent visibility, is probably a big part of why this specific fix outlasted more elaborate alternatives. It's not flashy. It doesn't need maintenance beyond keeping the paint clean. It just sits there on the hood, doing its one job quietly, which is often how the most durable design solutions end up working. Not because they're the most impressive idea, but because they're the one that keeps functioning without anyone having to think about it. There's also a perspective worth borrowing here, and it's not the driver's. It's the perspective of the people who actually spend their working hours behind the wheel of these vehicles, navigating traffic that often doesn't notice them until the last possible moment. For an ambulance crew, every second spent waiting for a driver ahead to register what's approaching is a second added onto however long it takes to reach whoever is waiting for them. The mirrored lettering isn't something EMTs or drivers think about consciously during a shift. It's not a feature anyone points to, but it's part of a long list of small, cumulative advantages built into the vehicle specifically so the crew doesn't have to rely purely on hoping people notice a shape or hear a siren over their own stereo. It buys a sliver of reaction time in exactly the traffic situations where a sliver of time actually changes outcomes, merging onto a highway, threading through a signal-controlled intersection, or approaching a line of cars stopped at a red light with nowhere obvious to go. There's a quieter piece of context worth mentioning here too, and it comes with the honest caveat that exact standards vary by country, by region, and sometimes by individual emergency service provider, so the specific rules, fonts, and required letter proportions aren't identical everywhere. But the underlying logic, mirror-corrected text designed for rear-view recognition, shows up across a wide range of ambulance services internationally, which suggests this isn't one company's clever branding idea. It's closer to a piece of applied psychology and optics that multiple, independent emergency vehicle programs arrived at because the problem it solves, drivers needing to identify an emergency vehicle behind them almost instantly, is universal wherever people drive cars with rear-view mirrors. It's also worth being honest that this detail alone isn't the entire safety system. Sirens, flashing lights, vehicle color, and traffic laws requiring drivers to yield all work together, and the reverse text is one layer among several, not a single solution doing all the work. In many cases, it functions as a backup or reinforcement, something that helps a driver process what's happening even before, or alongside, the siren registering consciously. The overlooked trade-off isn't that the mirror text is doing everything. It's that a genuinely small, cheap, low-tech decision, choosing to flip a word before printing it, adds a meaningful amount of extra reaction time to a system that otherwise depends heavily on sound and flashing light, both of which can be delayed, muffled by a closed window, or drowned out by music or traffic noise. The lettering doesn't need power, doesn't need to be turned on, doesn't need the ambulance to be actively running lights and sirens to work. It's simply there, doing its job passively anytime a driver happens to glance at their mirror. That's the part that tends to stick once you actually understand it. This isn't a hidden system built by some invisible authority working against ordinary people. It's the opposite. It's a small, almost boringly practical fix built by people who sat down and thought carefully about the exact physical path light travels between a hood, a mirror, and a driver's eyes, and adjusted the words accordingly. The reason it looks strange is not that someone got it wrong, it's that it was never designed to look right from where you were originally standing. So the next time you're driving and you catch a stretched, backwards, oddly spaced word sitting in your rearview mirror, you're not looking at a mistake. You're looking at a word that was deliberately broken in one direction so that it could put itself back together the instant it hit a mirror pointed at you. It was never really written for your eyes walking past it on the sidewalk. It was written for the fraction of a second you'd spend glancing at a mirror while driving, betting that in that fraction of a second your brain would recognize it faster than it could read it. And somewhere behind that word, someone is counting on exactly that.